Welcome back to the Stodcast. This is episode 9 of the Stodcast. I'm John Stoddard, your superintendent for Berkshire Local Schools, where it is our mission to encourage, inspire, and prepare our children for the future. And on today's episode of the Stodcast, we are going to be learning about the Badger Lab. And we have a special guest with us today, Ashley Brzozowski, who's our Director of Pupil Services here at Berkshire Local Schools. And Ashley, would you tell us a little bit about the Badger Lab?
Sure, John. So we built the Badger Lab from the ground up about 5 years ago. We came in with a dream to start a work program for students of all abilities to be successful after high school graduation.
And who was the initial driver behind the Badger Lab, Ashley?
You and me.
Good job. And our goal, we wanted kids to get transitional experiences that set them up for employment when they left us.
Yeah, so in the Badger Lab, we focus on the pre-ed services. So we focus on self-advocacy, financial literacy, and real-life job support on site.
And for the listeners who might not understand what pre-ETS means, ETS is Employment Transition Services. So we're getting them ready for those employment transition services so that when they leave us, they can go out and work independently and have gainful employment and earn a living wage on their own. All right, so Ashley, tell me, what kind of experiences do our kids get through Badger Lab?
So we have grown from 5 employers to over 25 employers. The students gain experiences in retail. We have hospitality. We have manufacturing, and we also run our own store that's kind of like a Goodwill where community can come in and shop for clothing. So there's all kinds of transitional skills being taught on site. We run a mobile food pantry from inside the school. We have a shop inside the school as well.
And also the Badger Lab coordinates the 48 Hours of Hunger initiative.
Yes. We deliver food to local families that have food insecurities, and we start on Friday to get them through the weekend. So we discreetly deliver bags of food to students' backpacks, and they take home with them enough staples to get them through the weekend. So that
no one else has to know that they have any issues, and they can just feel like a regular, normal student, but then not have to worry about food on the weekend.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's organized in the Badger Lab, and then our students carry that out, right?
Yeah, and it's supported through the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, which is one of our partners.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about some of our former students who have graduated Badger Lab now, and what are some of the kind of things they're doing out in the real world? So
we have a student that's currently working in a daycare, and she's on her 5th year, and she started out in the Badger Lab, and she had an apprenticeship there, and they ended up keeping her and hired her on. She's still there. We have students working at Shire Oil currently. We have students working at Vinny's restaurant in Middlefield. We also have students employed at Henley.
Awesome. So our kids are leaving here with awesome jobs and becoming productive members of society.
Yes.
Great. Well, Ashley, thanks for coming in, and we can't wait to get to meet some of the other teachers, job coaches, and students in the Badger Lab.
And a local employer. Thank you.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Stodcast. This is episode 9, all about the Badger Lab Vocational Program. And now we're back with one of our employers. We have Beth from His Daughter here. So Beth, can you tell us a little bit about His Daughter?
We are located in Middlefield, Ohio, and we are a bath and body shop. So we make a lot of natural soaps, cleaners. We have a men's line, a pet line. We've been in the area about 10 years, retail-wise. We make everything on site. We have some Badger Lab kids that come every Thursday.
Awesome. And what kind of things do our Badger Lab kids do for you at His Daughter?
They bag a lot of soap. There's a lot of soap that we make, bar soap, and they do the bagging and they label. They also put a lot of products into bags for us and label as well. Actually, it's a variety of jobs, and they pick up and do anything asked of them.
So how does having the students there benefit His Daughter?
Honestly, it's a highlight of our week. They've been coming in. We've had them for several years from the lab, and we look forward to them every week. We have the jobs all lined up for them. They come in. They always are in a great mood. They work very hard. They focus. They get it done. and they're just a joy to have around.
Yeah. Have you noticed growth or
Oh my gosh,
increased
yes.
skills from this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Incredible growth. Not only in their attitudes, but in the way that they have expressed themselves just in the length of time that they've been with us, from being very quiet and withdrawn to just right in there asking questions, getting the job done. If they're not sure about something, they are very forthcoming, and a lot of growth.
Awesome. Do they interact much with your customers?
Well, actually, they're on the production side.
Oh, okay.
So we do see them over in the retail side sometimes. So what they do interact with is all of the other employees. And there's between 15 and 20 of us that work at his daughter. And on any given day, there are 10, 11, 12 people working. So they interact all the time with all of the employees in there.
What are the hours of operation for his daughter?
We're open 10 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 3 on Saturdays.
Okay. And do you have a website?
We do, hisdaughtershop.com.
Hisdaughtershop.com.
Absolutely.
How about any other social media?
Oh, we're on everything. Of course, we're retail.
Okay.
So we do Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, we're on all of it.
So find his daughter, their website, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, and follow them, and make sure you go support his daughter and support the businesses that are supporting our students and helping us make the community a better place.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Beth. It was great to have you on the Stodcast.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the Stodcast. Again, this is episode 9. We're learning all about the Badger Lab, and we are back with our lead job coach, Kate Barcikoski. Kate, can you describe the Badger Lab Vocational Program for us?
I sure can. We are a program where we have high school students go to different companies and businesses in the area to learn job skills. Right now we have about 18 different job sites that we go to. The students learn to follow directions, communicate with coworkers and employers, and how to deal with the public also in some of those jobs. We currently, like I said, we have 18 different employers. Some of the places we go to are Hemley Hardware, Dairy Queen, his daughter. We go to Geauga Hospital. We go to the Cleveland Food Bank once a week and pack lunches there. We have a big crew that goes out there every week. We also run the Shire Shack, and we have a backpack program where it's in-house, where we send things home with students.
Lots of great experiences for the kids.
Yeah.
And Kate, what's your role in the program?
My role as a job coach is to support the students in their jobs. We help them learn the tasks they are given and assist them in communicating with their coworkers and supervisors at the job. As they learn the task, we begin to fade away, and they have become more independent. So that's some of the things. Some of the students we are able to drop off at job sites, and they work independently also. So my job also is to schedule all the jobs and coordinate with the employers, keep good.
Make sure everything's running smooth.
Make sure everything's smooth. Yeah,
now,
and if there's any schedule changes, things like that.
Part of your role includes driving, so you have to be school van certified,
We
right?
do, yes.
And I'm sure there's a process involved in that. But exciting. So how long have you been a part of the Badger Lab program?
This is my 4th year.
4th year?
Yeah,
And what did you do before being in the Badger Lab?
A lot. I have been a mom.
Sure.
I was the fiscal officer for Troy Township for 4 years. A lot of just part-time stuff, being a mom, and my youngest was full-time in school, and I needed something that was still flexible with my family, and it's been a fun job. I like going out to the job sites with kids.
Awesome. So how did they recruit you into doing Badger Lab from the other things, or was it what you were hired in to do?
I was hired in.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was a parapro position, and then Ashley explained to me that it's a job program, and actually my degree is in human resource management, so it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of
perfect
in
fit.
Line with it. Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you and glad that you're a part of the Badger Lab program.
Thank you.
And as always, all the kids have been great all through Berkshire, and we look forward to many more great things from the Badger Lab in the future.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Problem.
Okay, welcome back to episode 9 of the Stodcast, all about the Badger Lab, and we are here with Ed Blasier, who's an intervention specialist in the Badger Labs. Ed, we've heard from Ashley and we've heard from Kate. Can you tell us what, in your opinion, the goals of the Badger Lab Vocational Program are?
Absolutely. We have many goals for the Badger Lab Vocational Program. For example, we look to ensure that all students enjoy their job placements and embrace their work environments. A major goal of ours is to educate our students about work and expectations, problem solving, as well as taking into consideration their strengths and weaknesses. As young adults thrive on purpose, we like to stay in touch with each student in regards to their feelings about their work placements, what their perceived performance might be, and then we kind of take their feedback and go ahead and kind of tailor to them to make sure that they're most successful in each work environment. Ultimately, we lament reliability and accountability, and with all our students, we always promote soft skills. And then, all in all, we want to prepare the citizens of today for the world tomorrow.
That's great. So you're giving them those experiences that will help them when they leave here.
Absolutely.
So tell us what improvements you've seen in the students.
Absolutely. We've seen many improvements in our students throughout the school year with their jobs. A few of our students have general angst to go off to their job each day, and just with the supports and the patience that we provide for them, it kind of gives them that assurance that, we can go off to our job and give our best effort, and that's all we ever ask of them. Kind of inside of that is making sure that we always have those soft skills, and that if people are going to be mindful to us and maybe give us a compliment, that we're accepting of that, and we go ahead and take in that good feeling and let that kind of really promote our day for success. With that being said, a couple of our students are gainfully employed and receive biweekly checks, which is really cool.
Nice.
It's one thing I didn't kind of think about earlier in the school year, and then when these checks start coming in, it gives you that extra sense of purpose that, okay, they're going and getting checks, and the next subset of that is having checking accounts, and then they can see their money grow, and then they can start deciding how they want to spend their money. And in the classroom, we can use that kind of information to kind of talk about how we pay bills and what are priorities and what are wants and needs.
Yeah, those are also valuable skills for the kids to know moving forward.
Absolutely.
And they get that while they're kind of in this safe environment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is year 2 with Berkshire for
Correct.
you, right? And,
yes.
And you haven't always been with the Badger Lab. What was your role last year with Berkshire?
For sure. So when I was hired in with Berkshire Schools, I was the middle school reading specialist. I have a strong reading background, and when I saw the posting, I knew that was kind of my wheelhouse. Anytime I can grow literacy with students, that's kind of a priority for me. And it was nice to kind of get my feet wet at Berkshire. And ironically, I've kind of always been in the mild to moderate intervention specialist, but when I student taught years ago from Cleveland State, I was in a moderate to intensive classroom for 2 semesters, and that's when I realized that I really like this population. And as I kind of go through the workforce, I got kind of situated in more of a co-teaching, and now that I have students with moderate to intensive needs, it warms my heart on a daily basis and to see their growth.
Now, how did you get recruited to move to the Badger Lab position?
Sure. Well, as my superior, Mrs. Brzozowski, and I were in constant contact and kind of just thinking about maybe the forecast for maybe the Badger Lab and the environment of the school and whatnot, I was asked to maybe look into the role. I looked into it. A wonderful gentleman named Earl Beebe, who I succeeded, held down the position, and we were in some conversations, and he kind of gave me the faith to just kind of go in for it. He kind of checked my MO and said, I think this would be good for you, and I obliged.
Awesome. So sometimes it's as much the skills as the temperament, and putting those two things together, and
Absolutely.
That's what makes for a successful program.
I agree. I
So
agree.
First, we got to have that passion for wanting the kids to succeed.
Yes.
And then we can teach all the other skills we need.
100%.
All right. Awesome. Mr. Blasier, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you on the Stodcast.
It was great being here. Thank you for having me.
All right. Welcome back to the Stodcast. Again, episode 9, all about the Badger Lab. And we are here now with Kristen Hendl, the speech and language pathologist, who we affectionately refer to here as an SLP, so if any of you listening or watching don't understand what an SLP is, it's a speech and language pathologist. So, Mrs. Hendl, can you talk to us about some of the skills you work on with kids in the Badger Lab?
Yeah, I work in collaboration with the staff because they are amazing at helping kids develop the skills. Definitely interacting with their supervisors, coworkers, customers, patrons at any location. Conversation skills is as important as just small talk. That's how you build a relationship, starting with small talk, and even empathy. Showing empathy. I have students that I work with on empathy skills. Additionally, advocacy skills. If the student feels uncomfortable, to identify that uncomfortable feeling and be able to advocate what they need instead of maybe shutting down or saying the wrong thing, lashing out, understand what that feeling is and how to communicate it in a self-advocacy format. Problem solving. Oftentimes, students encounter problems, we all do. I have students try to think of a plan A and a plan B, because plan A doesn't always work. So really being flexible with problem solving, flexibility with communication repairs. We all have we put our foot in our mouth moment. What do we do after? We have to maybe apologize or own up to what happened, and then just do things different next time. Understanding nonverbal communication is important. Reading body language, tone, important. Also setting personal goals. I love the middle school, high school population, because you see these students become their own. And what are your goals? What do you want to get better at? So it's not just us as staff, you need to do this, this, and this. What do you want to work on? What are your goals with friendships, with work relationships? So that's kind of a fun thing to see the students identify what they need to do. And then also I do things like provide some visual support, some visual checklists with icons, social stories, role-playing, video modeling, different supports to help just boost those communication skills.
Because communication is going to be involved in everything they do while they're here and especially when they leave. So that's awesome. It's great. And your role in the school is not just with Badger Lab. Talk a little bit about other student populations or grade levels or other things you do with students here.
Yeah, so I'm here 5th grade through beyond 12th grade. We have a couple students that are older than the 12th grade. And work with students on language skills, vocabulary, social skills, articulation, fluency, if they stutter, those kinds of things. So just a wide variety.
Now, you recently received a grant for a really cool piece of technology, which we had some issues with, but the concept was awesome. Can you talk a little bit about that concept and what that could have been for us?
And it did work for several students, and then some students it didn't work. But it was a Smart Pallet piece where it looked like a retainer that fit into a student's mouth, and it had 100 electronic gold sensors. So those sensors would tell the computer where their tongue position was, and it would show on the computer, so it could help students know where to place their tongue to produce sounds. So awesome. It was very cool when it worked, and it did work for a few students.
Yeah, so high-tech speech and language pathology work, and that was really awesome. I thought it was great, and that's a grant that you sought after. Mm-hmm. You were able to get, and then you were able to work with kids to see that through. And so, did that for the students that it worked for? Were you able to see improvements, or did it help?
Yes, because there's also things that I couldn't see as a speech pathologist inside someone's mouth, like certain tongue position, or like using the very center of their tongue, and that helped give me eyes. So it actually even helped when I'm not using the tool, that I have an idea of what could be going on that I didn't before.
Yeah,
just gave a lot more insight. Yeah.
Small things that we don't think about, like tongue placement or things like that make a huge difference in speech.
Right.
And once the student's speech starts to improve, that really improves their confidence as well.
Mm-hmm,
right?
For sure.
And then confidence will help a lot with communication.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, Mrs. Hendl, thank you for joining the Stodcast. It was great to get to talk to you, and hopefully everyone learned a little bit about the work that you do and the grants that you were able to do and the way you infuse technology and all the awesome ways that you help our Badger Lab students.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Stodcast, and now we have one of our Badger Lab All-Stars, Robby, with us. And Robby, can you tell us what location your Badger Lab job is in?
I work at Shire Shack in Burton.
Can you tell us what the Shire Shack is?
It's a place where people donate clothes.
Okay. And what do you do at the Shire Shack?
I check the size, the tags, and put them in the correct spots.
Okay. And how does it make you feel after you get to work at the Shire Shack?
I feel good working there.
And what skills do you learn at the Shire Shack that you think could help you in a future job?
I learned to stay on track and get some help. When customers come in, I say hi to them really friendly.
Oh, okay. And being friendly is important for customers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes them feel comfortable. What are your plans after you graduate from high school? What do you want to do?
Work at Burger King.
Oh, yeah? You want to work at Burger King so you can have it your way?
Yeah.
All right.
You rule.
Awesome. You rule. Well, Robby, you do rule. So, Robby, I understand that you really enjoy watching the Stodcast. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What do you like most about the Stodcast when you watch?
I like watching all of them.
Yeah, you like watching all of them?
Yeah.
And the last time you watched a Stodcast, was it you? Did you ask your teacher if you could be on a Stodcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason, Robby, to be honest, that we're talking about Badger Lab is because your teacher came to me and said, Robby really wants to be on the Stodcast. And I said, well, let's have Robby on the Stodcast and talk about all he does at the Badger Lab. So awesome, Robby. Great job. And thanks for joining us on the Stodcast. It was great to get to talk to you.
It was good to talk to you too.
Awesome. All right, welcome back to the Stodcast, and we are here learning about the Badger Lab, and now we have another Badger Lab All-Star. We have Erin. Erin, where do you go for your Badger Lab jobs?
I go to Shire Shack on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays I go to Henley and Thompson.
Oh, awesome. Well, tell us more about what you do at the Shire Shack and at Henley's.
So on Shire Shack, people donate their clothes, and we as workers have to sort through the bags, make sure which ones are clean or not clean. Then we just hang them up.
Okay, well, how about at Henley's?
Henley's, I basically do inventory by myself, and I just make sure everything's in the right numbers and all that.
Yeah, inventory is a pretty important job.
Yeah.
How do you feel after working at your jobs?
It's good. I feel good. I'm close to my mom's work, which is nice.
Oh, that is awesome. And what skills do you think you're learning at these jobs that'll help you in the future?
Trying to be careful with my words so I won't offend any people.
It is really important to be careful with your words so you don't offend people. That is a good skill to have.
Yeah.
What about your plans after graduation? Do you have any yet?
I don't know. I got 3 years left.
You've got 3 years left. You got all the options you want, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Erin, you did a great job, and thank you for coming on the Stodcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, welcome back to the Stodcast again. This is episode 9, and we're learning all about the Badger Lab, and we're back with another one of our Badger Lab All-Stars, Dani. Dani, can you tell us what location your Badger Lab jobs are at?
I go to the food pantry, his daughter, Shire Shack, Heinen's, and Cleveland Food Bank.
The food pantry, his daughter, Shire Shack, and Heinen's in the Cleveland Food Bank. That is awesome. And what do you do at his daughter, Dani?
We put soaps in bags.
Soaps in bags. That sounds like an important job. How about at Heinen's? What do you do there?
We put cookies on trays.
You put cookies on trays. Do you ever eat any of the cookies?
No.
Okay, good. Make sure they can sell all those cookies, right?
Yeah.
How about after working at your jobs? How does it make you feel after you work at your jobs?
I felt good because I know I'm a hard worker.
Yeah, we all know you're a hard worker. And what skills, Dani, are you learning that'll help you with future jobs?
I'm learning to be nice to people and not shy.
Always good to be nice to people. Do people think you're shy, Dani?
No.
No, I don't think you're shy, but it's good not to be shy. That's good. What are your plans after high school, Dani?
I would like to go to college at Coastal Carolina. They have a good program.
Oh, yeah, Coastal Carolina, and it's not that bad to be on the coast either.
We're still looking at more colleges.
Yeah. You looking at more colleges? That's awesome. I love that you have a goal to go to Coastal Carolina because you love their program. So awesome. Dani, you did a great job on the Stodcast, and thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for joining us for episode 9 of the Stodcast. It was awesome to get to know all the members of the Badger Lab, the staff, the students, all the awesome guests we had, Beth from his daughter, and we got to learn a lot more about what they do and really just the opportunities that our Badger Lab vocational students have in the workforce. So remember, if you like the content on the Stodcast, remember to remember to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when new episodes drop. Also on our YouTube page, in addition to the Stodcast, we live stream all of our board meetings. So if you're curious what happens at board meetings, you can check that out. We also earlier live streamed the courtroom in the classroom, so that would be another really cool thing that you could check out. And always remember to stay curious, stay connected, and go Badgers.